Right.
So-
Well, because it's Lorn and not like Kings of Fallen or Remnant of the Ashes Kings.
Reckoning of
Destiny Dark Dragon Factorio Miami.
Yes,
Doki Doki
Factorio
Literature Tub.
Kings of Lorn, Doki Doki Literature, Miami, Factorio.
House Flipper.
So I will tell you, this is Jeff.
This is David.
I wonder how much of that rambling intro I left in. We'll see later on in the edit.
Yeah.
David, I really like Kingsfield.
I know.
This has come up a number of times.
It came up recently.
It come up recent. I just got finished. As of recording this, I just had finished the editing of the review of Elderborn.
Right.
At the end of that, let's say one of the things I was like, still looking for that fix, that Kingsfield fix.
Right.
And I went down a dark path, using the Steam recommendation engine search features, just tweaking that. It's rather robust. You can look for specific tags, you can exclude tags, you can tell it I want something niche versus popular, and you can tell it like I want up to 10 years old or I want really recent. You just start, putting those all over the place and then like see what comes up.
Oh, hi.
And it recommended me this. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. This is Kings of Lorn, Fall of Ebris. We're about an hour and a half into the game after the first area.
Okay.
It is I would describe this game as Kingsfield as survival horror.
Okay.
It's better than Kingsfield in a few objective ways.
Okay.
One of which I'm displaying right now.
Oh, hey, you can turn.
Yes,
like, quickly.
You can actually even use them. You can even use them. Hold on, I haven't pulled this mouse. Look at that go!
Ow.
Okay,
ow,
I'll stop
ow.
that now.
Please
Okay.
don't do that.
I have stopped the mouse aiming now.
Yeah.
This is an indie game made by a small team, made in Unreal Engine 4. Clearly, they like Kingsfield. I do too.
Right.
Another thing that is very Kingsfield-like. Let's pull out our sword here. Let's start attacking.
Oh, wow. I can hear the clicks. Very deliberate.
My attack speed. Yeah. Let's explore.
Okay.
Everything is dark, so I will constantly be sheathing my weapon, pulling out the torch, and turning the torch on. It is possible that there will come a time in this game's life cycle where they add a little bit more to it. There's been some updates and whatnot. I really think it could stand to be a little bit brighter, especially since this is atmospheric and moody with the torch out, but you can't have the torch and your weapon out, so most of the game is kind of a dull gray. This is with the gamma turned all the way up.
I figured, yeah.
So we're going to do some hot Kingsfield action.
Which is stay just out of reach.
You're correct.
And I assume the eyeball is its health.
Eyeball its health.
So its eyes were green, and then as you hit it, it changed colors. So now it's red, and one more hit, and it dies. Yeah.
Maybe you're right. I didn't notice that.
That's twice now. This has happened
I know,
in games.
yeah. This guy actually had a corrupted soul.
Oh.
Don't know what that does.
It looks like he's wearing a parka.
Kind of like a...
I know it's
it's more like a jerkin?
It's like the padded...
padded
something you put on under the armor, yeah. It's just... It means that somebody stole his armor.
We have a few other moves at our disposal, but only a few.
Okay.
That sort of creepy, ghostly whisper that occasionally happens is the enemy's body disappearing into mist. Took me a while to figure that one out.
Okay.
I thought it was new enemies coming in, but no, it's actually the opposite of that.
It's all right. Saving resources.
I mean, we can duck.
Wow.
So there's that. We can even jump. That's nice.
Wow. That's not a Kingsfield thing.
block. I think blocking is a Kingsfield thing.
That is.
We also have a dodge, and the dodge it's called dash, but it's just a button that you tap and then you do a quick hop. This is also on a cooldown, such as like that.
But you don't have stamina.
I don't have stamina.
Okay.
It is a very slow-paced game, and I'd say that it's very, very atmospheric, very creepy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's simultaneously very easy and very hard, which is something I would also say about Kingsfield.
It's very easy, but then you get impatient, and it becomes very hard.
Yes. So there's some floating decorators over here.
What?
Some floating rocks, floating decorators.
Oh, wow. You should submit the bug report.
I know. This guy has a little bit more range.
Oh, he actually has a sword. I see you have multiple weapons. Are you using
have multiple weapons.
Longsword because
it's the latest weapon that I've got.
Okay.
This is not especially an RPG.
Okay.
Unlike a Kingsfield or whatnot, there's not really there's no like inventory, no menu. You can bring up like your list of lore you've found.
Oh wow.
But it's really just collectibles. This is why I'd say it's a little bit closer to survival horror. I mean, they also describe it that way in sort of their marketing.
Okay.
Like this weapon wheel here, I'm not getting like swords that have different stats on it.
You're just getting different swords.
I had a dagger until I got a sword. Like that's just the way it was.
Okay, and it looks like you have a bow and arrow?
Yes, I have gotten a bow so far, and we're going to actually go into... I guess technically in this save file where I'm at right now, I already had the bow. I was kind of walking its way in order to get the bow.
Oh, okay.
Which is in this room here. We can see the glowing quiver of arrows, but it was on that sort of plinth.
Oh, okay.
Here's another thing I like. Canceling moves. I showed you the boring stuff.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna make it intense.
Okay. Oh.
Because you can block cancel. You can dash in. We're gonna try and block cancel our way to victory here. The combat pacing is still very deliberate, but you can you get this sort of like attack dodge combo.
Right.
That is almost completely necessary. We can block, reduces damage. It's not really
if you perfectly time it, is it a parry?
It's not a parry.
Okay.
It just reduces damage. Typically, you will get a little bit of health back from enemies from their drops.
The green mode, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, that hits hard.
So yes, everything in this game kills you in like one hit, which is why I described it as like both easy and hard. Got a flexible here.
A king's urn.
A king's urn.
Huh. So can you punch?
I mean, I technically have fists, so I can punch.
That looks very weak and pathetic.
So I'll stick with the sword.
Yeah.
We're going to fight a boss.
Okay.
Get my health back. These are save points, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Do they revive all the dead enemies?
No. Although they do come back when you die.
Oh, okay.
You can kill everything pretty effectively. There's a few other strange mechanics in this game. In the lower left there is a number over the sort of king, the crowned head, which is lives, which the internet tells me does not even come into play until late in the game. Because if you lose all your lives, you just go back to the main menu, but you can load your last save. So, what does it matter?
Right.
But apparently it's a resource that gets used towards the end of the game.
Okay.
So I've heard. So there's some enemies I want to be careful with. Other ones I don't. This guy is just going to block me, so I'm just going to chop his feet.
Right. Flail
get a
at
good combo
those.
going on these guys.
Especially if you hit their head.
Indeed. Be another knight character around here. I'll try and use the torch as much as I can. It's just not very safe.
Oh, this guy's like fully decked. Now, are you a king?
Yes.
Okay.
So this game actually has...
Oh, you're surrounded.
That's bad. Yep. Okay. Alright. Back in it.
Mm-hmm.
So the game actually has a storyline, voiced cutscenes, which I was like, oh, okay. That's kind of unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
Those things take a lot of time and effort to put together.
Uh-huh.
A lot of the characters have, like full masks on, It's like, I get it. You don't have to...
Lip sync, yeah.
Lip syncing. So... it's also, the opening cutscene of this game is very violent. So it does set a very, let's say, very dark tone.
Mm-hmm.
Your character, although it does not show it because it's the first person, gets their tongue ripped out, which explains why they can't talk.
Oh.
But you do hear that.
Huh.
So I'm just saying, putting it out there, the tone is set very grim and very dark. But after that, it's kind of like you're dropped in a dungeon, and it's like, find your way out. Very deliberate combat, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The actual plot and storyline, which is kind of gone over a little bit here in these scrolls that you pick up.
Mm-hmm.
And these are all sort of like the myths, the legends, the kings. It's basically it Dark Souls-esque, with a race of undying, sort of vaguely humanoid, elf-like, and then the race of humans, which can die, but their worlds were connected together through these like mysterious gates. They were sealed by the gods, and they're opening the gates so they can travel freely between them, etc., etc., etc.
All right.
And then the Ebris of the title was your kingdom, and the intro is you being usurped and kind of murdered. While the characters sort of like monologue, the villains come in and monologue about how they found a new king and he's immortal and he's going to grant them immortality and lead them to glory and conquering and all that. And this guy's poisonous, so once you get in there and
just boop him real quick.
Yeah, I just want to boop him. Okay. But then you're just kind of like sent to some sort of purgatory or something and resurrect, and it's a little unclear. But you're clearly still alive. Maybe you're some sort of revenant.
Mm-hmm.
Not really sure. You you don't really discuss it very much.
Right,
so
on account of the missing tongue. Yeah. Oh, right. Was that a stealth attack?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure if backstabs do more damage, but I guess they could.
One-shot him.
We got a King's Urn in here. This animation plays every time you pick something up.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay, because we can just pull our... Even though we still get the slowdown, we can pull our weapon, or our torch right back out. It's not really where I want to be, you know?
Right. It'd be slippery in any case.
Exactly. Okay, worked out.
I wonder what this is going to look like with YouTube compression.
Don't know. I mean, I've got the gamma set all the way up.
Right.
I'll, turn my torch back on. We got a few more people to fight here.
Mm-hmm.
So everything. This is basically the loop of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's all very kind of dark, creepy, atmospheric. Trying to, as best as possible, slowly cut through swaths of enemies and explore this sort of dark fantasy world. I'm like, you know what? This is kind of scratching that itch, that Kingsfield itch,
right?
That nebulous
right.
thing that I desire from those first-person dungeon crawl games that are not grid-based. Not really into that.
Right. And while I'm into dungeon crawl games, or grid-based dungeon crawlers, it depends on how the combat works. Like an Etrian Odyssey kind of thing, a Shining in the Darkness kind of thing, sure. Legend of Grimrock.
Grimrock? I mean, Grimrock.
I mean, it looks really cool, but having played it, the first one at least, for a chunk, it's not fun to play after a point. It's just very...
Not a fan of the real-time ATP kind of style.
I would be a fan of it if there were more, like, effective shortcuts for things. It's just really obnoxious to click, 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 select, click. All right, I now get to, like, stab a guy. Like that kind of thing.
In a large door. Like many indie games, not a lot of time can be spent on... I mentioned this with Elderborn. It's environment art bugs and things like that. These things don't really matter, but it's kind of within my nature to just find them. I would also say this is a more legitimate criticism of the game. Back up your save files, because it is a game that has one save file that's constantly overwriting itself.
Oh no!
Sort of the style, but because of the aforementioned sometimes lack of sort of QA polish in areas, you could just walk into a wall that looks perfectly normal. Like, if I were to step in there, I assume I might just get stuck in that wall and have to restart. Little things like that.
Right.
That definitely happened when I started playing. I was just walking in, it was just a corner that was kind of like this, and I was like, I wonder what's over here. And it would just be like, oh no. I'd be like, oh no, I can't move.
Wow.
And I was like, can I duck? Can I dodge out of the way? Can I jump? Try and wiggle out? It just wasn't happening. It's like, okay, I guess I can start over. Cool. Got some arrows here. This is a game where ranged combat is extremely effective. As you might imagine, you get 5 wood arrows, 5 lacerite arrows. It's basically explosives. And I just use those on the bosses because,
Right.
That's what else are you gonna do?
Never use them ever because you might need them.
Yeah, exactly.
I like this.
Yeah, it's got a cool portal there, tower portal. Kind of move from kingdom to kingdom that's connected through this portal network. I think we're in Lorn, or one of the other worlds connected to Lorn at the moment.
Right.
Sort of like lore-wise. But we're going to actually fight the guy that cut our tongue out.
Oh, okay.
He there.
Oh.
I see it.
He's right there. Okay. This looks like a boss arena.
It sure is.
You should have just stayed away. We have been blind of the truth. One you could never see. Ebris was meant to conquer, not protect the weak. All of us knew that you would never do what must be done to usher us into the new world. Goldbrand promises infinite power and life. From the ashes of this darkness, we will arise and serve Bargham as the new kings of Lorn.
Okay, there's some proper nouns in there. I think he's going to dash at me. Yes. When you're close up to this guy, he just tries to do his little fun spinny combos.
Right.
Oh, look at that. He died. Get out of here. It's like Resident Evil 4, dude. You get your rocket launcher to fight the bosses.
Because it one-shots all of them except for Del Lago.
Yes, this is true.
You can't grab his sword. That's weird.
I can't. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Oh well. That's okay. I would just recommend that as a strategy. I mean, I was reading a bunch of message board posts about the game, trying to before, you get a game on Steam under 2 hours, you can still return it for a refund, kind of work as a demo, thinking like, do I want to keep playing this?
Mm-hmm.
Is this going to end up, being like an okay intro, but then like it ends immediately? That's a random example of something that might happen.
That may have just happened. Weird.
Yeah, that where it maybe slightly misled you to the length of the game, the amount of content and whatnot.
Right.
It said, oh, yeah, this game's about 10 hours long or so, which is kind of what I was expecting of the other one.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, there's the usual complaints that happen for anything, just like, oh, the ranged combat makes like everything way too easy. It's like, yeah. So you have a guy with a sword, but then you have a fire arrow.
Right.
And you shoot him in the face.
As it turns
Super
out,
effective.
Historically speaking, a trained archer, super effective against a knight.
Super effective, yeah.
As it turns out. But
I enjoy the rhythm of the combat, especially once, look, some of this I like more because I had to figure it out on my own. Because it was like really, really annoying in the first area of the game. Here's an example. I'm just kind of stuck a little bit. Okay, I'm back.
Okay, good. I was wondering why you weren't moving.
Teensy bit. It was a teensy bit stuck there. But yeah, some of the joy is in figuring out like the exact ways to like cancel attacks. There's a sort of rhythm to it, block canceling.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just like spam it, otherwise you just get the wiggly. You just get like a wavy tube man hand. It doesn't quite, not as effective.
No.
All of the music in quotes is just like dark ambient stuff, which I'm also kind of into.
Right. I wouldn't say you're kind of into. I'd say you're into.
I enjoy. I would say kind of, only because I don't like listen to it recreationally, but I enjoy a good Silent Hill soundtrack.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Oh, hey, look.
It is a treasure chest.
Full of lore.
It's some more history of the world soars and Indar's rebellion against the creator. It's like, don't create. It's like he's like, it was delegated authority, so something that I'm familiar with, both as a Christian and as someone who enjoys writing fantasy stories where almighty beings have delegated authority in different domains and whatnot that they are, in charge of. So he'd like split up his kids. It was like, all right, everyone has like their own portion of the universe that they can make in whatever way they want, but you only get one. And this guy's like, what if I took that one and I just kind of cut it in half? It's still technically just one, right?
Oh.
So he's, that's the basic lore setup for the difference between the humans and the sort of immortal humanoids as being cut from the same world soul.
Oh, okay.
The sort of god didn't anticipate that the link would be so strong, so even after being separated and hidden in these like parallel dimensions to try and hide them from God, they kind of found their way back to each other and then covet what each other has that they don't.
Right.
Because, dark fantasy.
Right.
You got to have some endless wars of worlds and immortals.
Right.
Is the style.
Yeah. That masked man has a torch.
Does. And get just the right amount of aggressive. You can get through these guys pretty quick. Got a little counterattack on me there. Hello. How did he see me?
How did he hear you?
You also can't dodge cancel when you're dashing. So if you're sprinting, you can't block cancel. At least not really effectively.
Right.
You kind of have to come to a stop first.
So what's this Eld of Spirit?
Eld of Spirit is charging up my lives.
Oh, okay.
And that's basically it. as far as I can tell, like, you get these items. Like, there's one of, like, Eld of Fury or something.
There was Voltaic Eld as well.
I have Voltaic. I have no idea what those mean.
Okay.
All right, let's get our torch back out. There we go. It's in the pot.
I was going to say probably a health potion.
I see these side areas. I'm just like, maybe I can just kind of go on a journey and then just kind of get into some dark business.
And then
but
you
I'm
get
also
stuck.
Like, I don't want to get stuck and have to run back. that's what the extra save files are for. Also, here's another important tip. A pro tip for keeping a backup save file. I'll present to you a scenario.
Okay.
You fight a boss, and then after you climb like a tower, and then you see to your left a altar with a glowing object on it, and to your right a gigantic wooden door. What do you choose?
I choose to save and then pick the altar.
Okay, you made the correct choice because the altar was a health upgrade, of which there are so few in the game. If you pick the door, if you were, as a random example, thinking, that altar looks important, it will probably have something happen if I click on it. Let me see what's through the door first, in case there's an item that way. What actually happens is, it loads the next zone, auto-saves, and you can't go back.
Okay, yeah.
So I played the whole game over from the beginning, this time, with, well, it was a lot faster the second time.
You knew what you were doing, yeah.
Knew what I was doing. Even so...
Right.
Get out of here. These guys stagger a little bit more frequently. I can kind of... try and get his foot... Okay, I say that and then exactly this moment decides not to ever.
No, he's never gonna stagger.
Yeah, that's alright. There's health pots.
Oh, hey.
There's things here, so not worried about it. Conspicuous glowing portal as well. So.
Yeah, weird.
Particles.
What's in the conspicuous glowing portal? Probably a cutscene. Oh, a loading screen.
A loading zone for sure.
So is that what you look like?
Possibly. There is a sort of out of context intro where it's just kind of like showing different scenes. There's like this thing with its like chest open, and it's like a newborn child like inside its heart. So it's like a heart, but there's like a kid inside of it. It's very kind of trippy, and then it zooms out, and there's just like villain with, you know, crazy Sauron armor staring at camera, and then it shows you like a beach, and, you know, goes through some different things, and eventually ends, you know, up with your character kind of being assaulted and killed. So it could be. I don't know.
Okay.
We have found another portal, entered another world, Kingdom of Undren, Lower Town. I think this game looks really good, especially considering it was only made by, like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 people.
Right.
Getting the most use out of those bone assets.
Right, yeah. Can you not break things with your torch?
No. Otherwise, I'd be using my torch to break things.
Okay. Huh.
That's also a Kingsfield thing.
Ah.
It's possible that you can have a weapon that is literally not strong enough to break open basic barrels. You have to upgrade your weapons and then wait for your weapon bar to charge up. It takes approximately 7 to 8 straight minutes. And then you can attack once and it will splinter a barrel, and you can get the delicious, delicious, simple health potion inside. What a great game.
Is it really 7 to 8 minutes?
It's not 7 to 8 minutes.
Okay. Here's the thing. It might be.
It's like 10 to 15 seconds.
Okay.
I think I was supposed to see something, but each time I go through here, I look a different direction, but I think it was supposed to be like here and then flying into the horizon. There's like a shape. I mean, having played a little bit longer, I think I know what it's supposed to be, but I still haven't pointed. Look, you play a game, you hear a creepy sound, you're like, oh, I should be seeing something. And I'm like, if I look straight ahead and I don't see anything, like, well, maybe it's the conspicuous mountain tower with things flying around it, and then nothing's there. I was like, okay, I guess I just missed it.
Yeah.
I'm try and get some... You don't have mantling abilities, but you do have... let me see if I can get my favorite glitch here. It's just kind of pull this right back out. There we go. If you're really quick, you can actually light it, and you can have just like a soft glow on the
thing.
Yeah, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Just a nice little soft glow. And my arrows are full, which is good.
Right.
So I'm going to use it to murderate an enemy over here. That's rather difficult. I'm just like, man, I think I could get into some dark business by just kind of
just. Are you skipping a huge chunk of the game?
It's like, I think I might be able to, like... Alright, I just have to know. I'm just going to go on a journey here.
Okay.
We're going to go on a journey, alright?
Okay.
There's no invisible walls to stop me. I'm just going to see what
see what you
get
can
up to.
find. And it all has collision, right?
Here. Okay, there's an invisible wall there. Yeah, this all has collision. You can kind of see this... it's like the height map that is used as the base for the level here. It kind of has a like the height map being like the the actual terrain, the hills on the terrain, and then like the objects, which I guess in Unreal Engine are called blueprints. I have not really used Unreal Engine very much, again because I use Unity.
Right.
They're called prefabs in Unity. But the basic like objects and groups of objects that have effects and textures and game logic applied to them, whether it be swaying gently in the breeze or
they're real wobbly. Those trees.
They're a little wobbly.
They're wiggly.
They're a little wiggly, yeah. So I don't think it'll kill me if I go down there. I think I might just get stuck. Let's do it.
All right.
Let's go around the side here.
I'm kind of surprised it let you Skyrim up that mountain.
You never know what you're going to find wandering in the semi-out of bounds of an indie game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a wall.
It is a wall. Or is it? Okay, it is. Sometimes.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy. Okay. I wiggled out. I assure you that every time the screen was shaking, it was vibrating the controller.
Good.
I think I can get up and around here. I just have to find the right spot.
Right. As I said, Skyrim your way up a mountain.
Is there anything keeping me from getting up here? No, sir, there is not.
Oh, hey.
So it continues here. How far is it going to let me wander?
I mean, I don't know. Like,
I'm just going to go to the tower. I'm head towards the tower.
Yeah. I wonder. Are we going to accidentally beat the game? Oh, hi. Those look like Dargans.
Oh, no, it's Dargans. This is the end of the level. I want to see if I can get down here without dying. Right where I'm pointing down here.
Yeah.
Is where that hypothetical situation happened.
Ah. So I have a question.
Seems a little
Can
precarious.
You see the boss from where you're at?
I can probably see the arena. It's here, I think.
Okay, because maybe if you hit the boss with an arrow, it will warp you to the boss.
I don't think that is the case because this particular boss doesn't have a cutscene that starts it.
Ah, okay.
It just has the door that closes behind you when you enter, and then the boss kind of drops in.
Oh, okay. So it's one of the flyers.
If it was a cutscene, then I'd say that would be more likely. That it kind of like puts you in the place you're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now I kind of just want to find out.
So you can make it?
All right. Let's kind of carefully spelunk our way down here.
Yeah.
Can I get over here? Nah, let's try not to fall down where we can't get back up.
Right.
Let's go to this roof.
Roof it? Yeah. No!
That was bound to happen eventually.
Yeah.
Found an invisible wall here. Yep, this is kind of sliding up against it at the moment.
Do you think they put one around the arena so the boss doesn't fly away?
I assume it's just so that it prevents you from getting in there. Although I think that, you can actually... from where we started, there's like a whole area and you kind of go up and around and then eventually make it to the boss, because video games.
Right.
There's definitely ways to get in there. I'm just kind of... I think we'll have to... Alright, this is just a... the writing in the game is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It needs a little bit of a... At times, it just kind of needs a editing pass.
Right.
It's just like, oh, that's a weird sentence that has a word doubled, or that comma shouldn't be there. It's like, I get what you're putting down. So.
Okay. How's the voice acting overall?
I think the voice acting overall is pretty good too.
Okay. Because we
so
just have that
just
one example. So
yeah, that one guy, and then like the evil.
There it is.
There was. Okay, saw it this time.
yay!
Yay!
This will make the edit.
Maybe. Yeah, it probably will. Let's kill this guy and then kill this other guy who's more of a problem than this guy.
Where's the other guy?
This guy here.
Oh, hi, big man.
Is basically what like a boss turned into regular enemy.
Yeah, it looks like the guy you just fought.
Yeah, this particular guy actually shows up a little bit sooner in the game as a boss.
Oh, okay.
This is where you have to get very good with the, which I'm not really good at anymore. Exact edge of the, and then dodging backwards at the same time.
Right.
Sure, I'm not. Okay, I've got some space to move here. Just a bit closer, a little bit closer. Kind of. Okay.
There you
got
go.
One. Got a stagger. Yep. Backed off too far.
You seem to stagger him most of the time when you hit him.
But not every time.
Right.
So it might as well be none of the time.
Right. If you can't rely on it 100%, you can't plan around it.
Yep. Okay.
Woof.
I went in too soon, and my dash had not
recovered. Yeah. How much health does this dude have?
I think he probably only has like one hit more.
Okay.
Going up, I can't really dodge up on here, so
Okay.
looks like it might be at the edge of his zone.
Right. Well, luckily you have a bow and arrow.
My this is basically what I'm saying is that you just go up and murderate him with a bow. I think that enemy is worth just kind of killing with the arrows.
Right. Okay.
There's even arrows here.
All right. Well then.
But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fight him legit.
For what that is worth in combat, yes. He had more than one hit.
He did have more. He has 2 hits left.
Oh, nice.
We did it. We got... I mean, you don't get, like, experience or anything, so...
Right. Just Eld of Spirit and Eld of Life.
Kings of Lorn.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll stop playing now.
Okay. You want to give us a vista?
Yeah, let's get a vista. That's pretty good. I'll just go to the top of the bridge.
Okay.
Or you know what? You do the thing. I'm just gonna wander. Out of bounds.
Okay.
I'm just gonna climb this mountain. Don't worry about it. You know, I'll pull the torch out. We get a
so
little
we can
soft
see.
glow.
So, if you've enjoyed this and the other things we do, supporting us on Patreon is the most effective and direct way to do that. We only really have the 2 tiers, $1, $5. You know, if you can't do that, totally get that. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. We really love making this stuff for y'all, and any of those things makes it easier.
I thought I would get through that a little bit faster.
Do you want me to
Kings
say
of Lore.
Fall of Ebriatos?
Wait, hold on. That's Bloodborne.
Sorry. Sorry. Fall of Gwyn.
Yeah, okay, there we go. That's a little bit more appropriate.
More on brand? Okay.
I'm just gonna see if I can skip the boss.
Just get
I'm
to
gonna
the other
take
side.
I'm gonna take some slightly riskier jumps just to see. So yeah, so here
Uh-huh.
it's likely I'll slip off and die. But let's try and hit the jump button. No, I slipped off and died.